Good morning, everyone. I think I'm going to stand. I like to move when I speak. You have a stage. You have to honor the place. Anyway, I will not sing. I will not dance. Don't worry. Because we are here to speak of something serious, which is research. SAIIER is an institute of research, and sometimes we are asked, why don't you produce papers about your research? And we have a difficulty because our research being about consciousness is difficult to measure in a kind of objective way. So what is called research generally is about a reality that you can apprehend objectively and measure. When it becomes more subjective, it becomes a little difficult. And I think we have not yet found a way how to do it. If we cannot, we are not object, we are subject. So our research is how to become what we truly are, individually and collectively also. It's not something that can be measured like, in a kind of objective way, and then you can make reports about it. But still, we have this research, and the research which has been put before us by the mother is quite radical when you think of it. Because as far as a collective life is concerned, she spoke about governance, about economy, about education. About governance, she said, basically, a divine anarchy would be the ideal. She said, as long as there is no rule, there is hope. That's something, you know. What is the research here? About economy, she said an economy without exchange of money, meaning where money is not necessary anymore, the circulation of money is not necessary anymore to have people producing and exchanging. What kind of economy is that? And education which it's not bound, to certificate where everybody is formatted in the same way. A much more individualized and subjective education, where children are invited to determine by themselves what they want to become. How do we do that? These things are research questions. And it's not a question of system. What is the new political system, the new educational system, the new economic system? It's more about at what condition can we have a governance where rules are not necessary anymore or become less and less necessary. In fact, it is one of the main objects of research in Auroville, and it has not been researched seriously enough, I think. In economy, it's the same thing. What kind of relation do we have with each other where it is not necessary to put a price on the work you give or the object you want to exchange? What kind of psychological condition is necessary to make money less necessary or even totally obsolete and useless? For instance, when you give something to somebody, you don't put a price tag on it. Right? It's not supposed to be related to money. So if there were less taking and more giving, maybe there would be less need of money. And in the domain of education, we have the same subjective question. What are the psychological conditions where the teachers can invite and guide the students to discover their true path of progress. We have to confess that we have never been prepared for that when we have been educated. So we are all a little, honestly, we have to say that we don't really know how to proceed there. And if we don't know, the best would be to maybe acknowledge that we don't know and to start simply by groping around, experimenting, and trying to find a way which is new. Because the old recipe cannot be used. So it is difficult for the mind, especially when the mind has been educated. Because when we are educated, we think we know. And that's a big obstacle to discover what we don't know. Because we don't know that we don't know. So to arrive at this condition where we are convinced what we don't know, it takes time. We have to unlearn, in a way, not so much the knowledge we have acquired, but the conviction that yes, that we know, or we have some kind of expertise, and therefore we have authority. As long as we have this attitude, we cannot discover. So this is not easy to take this attitude and to take it collectively. Imagine a collectivity, people coming together and acknowledging first that we don't know how to proceed, but we are going to try. It's difficult. And for leaders to say, we don't know what is the path, but we are going to find it with you. Alors, one of the requirements, I think, would be a constant effort of harmonizing the different points of view. Because in an experiment like Auroville, which is so vast, necessarily we have different points of view about what is Auroville, how it should develop, what shape it could take, necessarily. And of course, because they are different, they will become, at a certain point, conflicting with each other. So then what do we do? And this is where the research is. The research is, how do we harmonize? How do we make the effort of finding the complementarity of all these different points of view? It is something that has been mentioned several times by the mother. Of course, it is in Aurobindo's books everywhere, the synthesis, of apparent opposites. And we have not really tried for we have been in existence for a little more than half a century. And I don't remember that we have been really trying to make this effort of harmonizing what appear to be opposite. For that, we have to study a little bit, maybe, what Aurobindo wrote. And something he wrote is that we should never take the points of view which are expressed at their face value. They don't really represent the truth they try to represent. They generally make it smaller, more categoried, more exclusive than it is in reality. So you have to go beyond. Each time we express something, it's always an attempt to express something which in fact we don't grasp completely or deeply. So we can harmonize different points of view if we manage to find the truth of each one and agree together. That's fantastic path, no? It's a fantastic research to start. And it cannot be done only by individual, it has to be a collective attempt. especially now in Auroville with a lot of division and, conflicting points of view, it is all the more necessary. And I think it is possible. And I think also that for many Aurovillians, what they have discovered during the last, few years is whatever circumstances happen, how much disagreement you might have about what's happening, in fact, there is something in you that is not touched at all by it, which cannot be touched. The Auroville we carry in ourselves does not depend on outward circumstances. And we can always go back from there and find a new way to address, each other and start working together, groping around towards the unknown of tomorrow, as Mother put it. If it is something unknown, we have to be ready for the unknown. That means we have to abandon all our preconceived ideas about what is the truth, what is Auroville, what is the divine, all our preferences, all our reactions, and God knows we have so many possible reactions. Because as long as we have all these things, there is no room for a new consciousness. Now, this consciousness, we have been told, now is here. It has come, trying to permeate, our human reality. And Mother said it is much more competent than the mind, even for the most minute material detail. So what does that mean? That means our main responsibility is to find some kind of way of relating to that consciousness and give room for it so that it starts to become part of our reality, our subjective reality. But if it's a common subjective reality, little by little, it becomes also a common objective reality that gets born little by little. So the question is, are we ready for it? Yeah. Well, that's our research question, I think, our main research question. And that's all I have to say today. Thank you for your attention.